Hello folks, how are you doing today? Well, I've got another shopping haul, this time with a slight difference. The reason I'm doing all this shopping is for a different reason to normal as well. But before I start unboxing or unbagging everything I got today, I'll point out that everything I'm showing you, as far as I know, is vegan. So I'm not going to say this is vegan, or every time I show you something. But this isn't about being a vegan. This is about, I can't believe I'm making a YouTube video on this. It's about preparing for a hard Brexit. I am now officially a prepper. I didn't think I'd ever be a prepper because I associate preppers with mainly Americans who are prepping for the apocalypse, zombie apocalypse, World War III. I don't know what they're prepping for. And they build up an arsenal of weapons and stockpiles of water and dehydrated food. That's the image I have of a prepper. Well, I'm a prepper, so I've yet put myself in yet another minority group. I'm in several minority groups, some by choice and some, I believe, by birth. But this is by choice. Now I'll tell you, as I'm unpacking everything, I'll explain why I have decided to stockpile some food. Now, as I don't drive, everything I'm showing you was carried home on my bike. I can't do a huge shop. I did tell my partner what I was doing, and if I was looking at his face, I'm sure he'll have been rolling his eyes, but I'm still doing it. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I'll just get the quick first thing out of the way. One of the two items that I haven't bought as preparations for a hard Brexit are these cupcakes. Okay, so let's put those to one side. They're not really included because these don't really last very long. Well, certainly not in this house. Anyway, I had no idea that people were stockpiling food or any stockpiling was going on until I saw Look North, which is our local news program. I stay away from mainstream news and mainstream media as much as I can. It just gets me angry. So I don't really watch it. So anyway, I did happen to see Look North, and they were at a local company who make cleaning products. This company is called Astonish. And the managing director from Astonish said that although they're produced in the UK, they get the sprays from the spray bottles from a country in the EU. And that company, Astonish, had stockpiled some of these trigger sprays, but they only have enough space to stockpile 3 weeks worth of supply. And that got me thinking, why are they stockpiling stuff? And then I looked into it a bit more, and it seems that a lot of other firms are stockpiling either raw materials or finished goods if they've got content or ingredients or components made in an EU country that has to be imported. And then I also read that the NHS was stockpiling certain drugs and medicines. And I thought, oh, why is this? So I looked into it. And there is a possibility, and we don't know, nobody knows who's doing this really. I'm in a group on Facebook, a prepper group, and nobody really knows if anything's going to happen. Now, the worst case scenario that we see could be we're going to have stock running out. People are going to be panic buying. Stock's going to be running out, and it's going to be a while before the supply chain gets back to normal. People are going to be running out of essentials like painkillers, ibuprofen, paracetamol, or even other drugs that they need to stay alive. Or you know how it is when you run out of your favourite thing and you go to the shop and it's not in stock and you're annoyed. Well, can you imagine what that would be like if you go to your favourite shop to get what you want and 20, 30, 40% of those items aren't available? So the worst case scenario, as I said, stock could be a short supply, people could be panic buying, prices could go up. We could see, now if you remember what happens on the Black Friday when people fight each other for a TV or any other electrical good, can you imagine what they're like if they're fighting for food, if they fear that they're going to go hungry? Can you imagine? So I'm not trying to scare anyone. I don't want to be involved with anything. So it's probably silly. It'll probably never happen, okay? So we might not see any difference. What could happen though, prices could start creeping up and Brexit will be blamed. Things could start being in short supply. But I don't, if nothing happens, it doesn't bother me, because I'm going to eat everything I'm showing you. Everything I'm storing away has got a long shelf life. It's going to get eaten. And I've saved money as well. So it's win-win. If it doesn't happen, that's great. If nothing happens, I've still got the stuff. It's not going to go wasted. So this is just a little selection of what I've got. So it's obviously some cereal. These are to sort of increase the nutrition of my cereals and other things. I can sprinkle them on desserts, put them in porridge. It's flaxseed, almonds, Brazil nuts, walnuts and coenzyme Q10. And this one is flaxseed, sunflower, pumpkin and sesame seeds and goji berries in a sort of, all ground up. So you just sprinkle them on food. These, because they're on offer, they're just orange rice cakes, chocolate orange flavoured rice cakes. These are to help me store some of the packets, mainly the flour and bread mixes that I've bought. Just some 30 Ziplock bags to keep them dry. And as I said, you never know if there's going to be a problem getting hold of some over-the-counter drugs. In the UK, I don't know what the law is like in other countries, but you're only allowed to buy 2 of each normally. 2 ibuprofen, 2 paracetamol, and it probably applies to other medicines and drugs. So these are the generic cheap ones. I think it was £1 for all 4 of these, or just over. But I'll tell you, I try not to use pharmaceutical drugs as much as I can, but when you're in pain, you'll take anything. I've had that experience recently. I wasn't bothered if I overdosed slightly. I was just putting everything down my throat to get rid of the pain I was in. So there's that. And this is just some mouthwash, because we're not just talking food here that could be in short supply. It's all the other things that may come from the EU or have items in them from the EU. Things like toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorant. The list goes on and on. So. And I've got these because I like the Bulldog brand. I think they're made in the UK, but you don't know. This container it's in might come from an EU country. Some of the ingredients might. I just bought these anyway because I like this brand, and they were on offer. So I bought them when they were cheap anyway. So they're going to get used. So it's just a face wash and a face scrub. So that's the first little part from my rucksack. Now, this is not my first Brexit shop. I did one yesterday, but I couldn't actually record it, but I've got all the stuff down there, so I might quickly show you that. I've still a long way to go as far as building up stocks, but I'm just trying to think of basic foods that have a long shelf life. So some rich tea biscuits, favourite Alpro dark chocolate Soya desserts. They don't have to be kept in the fridge. You can eat them at room temperature or chill them, of course. I don't really have much ketchup, but I thought I'd best get one in just in case. Spaghetti on toast, a quick simple lunch. So I got a pack of 4 of those. Gnocchi, I'm not really sure what to do with these, but you can add pasta sauce and various things to them. But these have a long shelf life. They're potato gnocchi. These will last up until November, so plenty of life in those. They will keep fresh. Now, it's gone a bit flat. This isn't. This is something to have my lunch. I've discovered this a few weeks ago. It's a stone-baked garlic pizza, and I just used to eat the whole thing as a sort of a lunch and with nothing on it. But now I've discovered, and I've got it in a bag somewhere, some vegan cheese grated that is absolutely fantastic. It's the best vegan cheese I've had. So I put the vegan cheese on and then some chopped red onions and put it in the oven, and it's lovely. Cheese and onion pizza. So I'll pop that in the fridge now, actually, because It should be kept under refrigeration. Let's pop that there. I don't really enjoy, well, there's not many tinned veg I like. It's not very nice, but peas are normally okay, and sweet corn. So I've got some petit pois. Just little individual, you know, that would just be enough for me, because I do quite a nice fish and chips using a vegan fish in batter, and you can have chips, of course, and you can have those peas. Should have 4 of those. And talking of sweet corn, I've got some pack of 3 sweet corns. They're fine from the tin, fine frozen as well, but they're convenient in the tin. And of course, preppers tend to favour tinned foodstuffs, because if the brown substance hits the fan and there's no power, then obviously anything got stored in your freezer is going to go bad, isn't it? If the power stays off for too long. Oh, right, I'll just snip to the fridge. This is the cheese. I highly recommend it. It's a brand that's quite known for their vegan cheese, Violife. But this is quite a new version. I've had grated cheese before and it just never seems to melt. And it's horrible. This one melts and it's got a really cheesy, creamy taste. I highly recommend that. I'm sad I got rid of my sandwich toaster, because I thought, oh, I can't put anything in it, but I could do a cheese and onion toasty now with that, and it would be just as nice as the dairy cheese version. So just pop that in the fridge. As I said, this is not about veganism, it's about prepping. These, not essentials, but it's nice to have a little treat. Pudding, all these little jellies. These are on offer. I think it's seven for £3 or something, I can't remember. Everything I'm showing you today, when I've finished, cost me around £50. So this is what £50 worth of shopping looks like. Well, it will be when I've finished. I probably would have bought more, but as I said, I'm restricted to what I can take home on my bike. This is the heaviest and last pannier, so it'll have a lot of tinned food in it. Oh, ginger nuts. Something that I think preppers, certainly in the UK, joke about. Baked beans and toilet rolls. Baked beans are very versatile. They're okay for lunch on toast, or you can include them in a bigger meal, or use them as an ingredient for, I think, corned beef hash you can have with baked beans, can you? I don't know. Not that I'd have corned beef, but you know. 4 chopped tomatoes. Coffee. Now, if obviously the UK doesn't produce its own coffee, so if anything is going to be in short supply, coffee and tea are 2 things, and we in the UK are a nation of tea drinkers. I'm not personally, but a lot of people watching this are. So coffee, this will last until November 2020, and you know, it's quite a nice one. That it's as extra special. It's not expensive. I like a nice cup of coffee. But I have my coffee black now, but I do have several soya and alternative milks to have with cereal. So I've got a couple of organic long life soyas there. And to mix it up a bit, I thought I'd try a roasted almond unsweetened soya from Alpro. And then a couple of oat milks as well. I've had those before, not so good in coffee, but they are nice, especially in when you're making porridge, because they're made of oats, so you get sort of a double hit of oats. So I can make a nice filling big bowl of porridge using a bit of xylitol, which I buy to sweeten it, and then of course I can sprinkle some of this stuff in it, one of these, a bit of this, put some, well at the moment, well when I can get fresh blueberries and fresh fruit, you can put fresh fruit, but it can be if we can't get fresh, because fruit and veg, again, that's something that's mainly imported. If you can't get fresh fruit and veg, you can always get the dried stuff. It's not as good, I don't think, but it's okay. Or frozen, if you know you've got a freezer. Now, I would certainly be stocking up on my frozen food, but we have arguments because I go out and fill the freezer, and then my partner comes home with frozen food and he can't fit it in. So we've only got a fridge freezer. I am contemplating getting a chest freezer, a small one, but that has been thumbed down by my partner. So this doesn't seem very much. It seemed a lot heavier than that. I'm just checking. Oh, that's it. It doesn't look very much, does it? It's £50 worth, although, you know, we're talking, these aren't normal things I buy These, I think, they were on offer, but I think they're still £3 each. So I don't normally buy that, and that was £2. So, you know, take away 6 or 8, take about £9 away for the non-food. So you're talking about 41 pounds or so worth of food here. Oh, and of course the Ziplock bags, I don't normally buy those, so they're not really food. But as I said, that was a tip I got from the Facebook group. They buy these Ziplock bags, and it's mainly for flour or dry goods. Obviously your tins and things don't need to go in a Ziplock bag. But once you've opened something like nuts, any dry goods really, you can just put them in there, or use Tupperware boxes or other plastic boxes, as long as they can be sealed up. So that is today's, and it's the second Brexit shop I've done. I might as well show you what I bought yesterday, which was my very first Brexit shop. Okay, so this is my very first Brexit shop. As I said, I'm a newbie at this, so I'm getting advice from Facebook groups and other internet websites. But the thing is, I am buying food that I would normally eat. But at the moment, I'm concentrating mostly on food that's got a long shelf life. Now, as we reach the D-Day, if Brexit does happen, if we have a hard Brexit, so whatever Brexit, if we get a Brexit, the week before, I will start purchasing more fresh stuff. And try and get as much fresh stuff with as long a life as I can. So, you know, it's much a similar sort of thing, more tinned goods, beans, passata, lots of soups, tinned fruit, also little individual fruits, which are okay just after lunch. You can have one of those just on its own. Pasta, of course. I like the whole wheat variety, so I've got whole wheat spaghetti, I've got whole wheat. I have no idea how you pronounce that. More fruit in juice. These, because they're on offer, and I like these hippies snacks. Biscuits. These protein bites, they're on offer, they're nice. Gravy, of course, that is vegan, yes. That's nice to have with a Sunday dinner. I'm trying, what I'm doing as well, I'm trying a few new things, because what I don't want to do is buy loads of stuff just because it's got, you know, it stores for a long time, only to find when I've opened the first one I don't like it. I'm not going to waste money. I hate wasting money. So I'm trying a few things. So I bought this little stir-in sauce. Now a lot of these are for 2 or 3 people or more. That's probably enough for one person to stir that in with some pasta and some other things. Maybe I could make my own bolognese with some soya mince. Talking of soya mince, I'm trying this. Now this brand has been going for donkey's years, as they say, a long time anyway. I'm not sure what it's like, but it can't be that bad because, as I said, this is a brand I recognise from a long time ago. This is or what they used to call TVP, textured vegetable protein. So obviously you can buy soya mince in the chilled and the freezer section, but I also, you know, will be getting some of that too, the chilled, the frozen stuff, but obviously the freezer space is limited. So I'm going to try and make up something with this, with maybe do my own spaghetti bolognese and see what that's like, using this and this stir-in sauce with some other bits. But like I say, I'm going to try it, and if it's palatable, I'll get some more of that, but if it's not, I won't buy any more of that. This is about it's about preparing, but it's also about saving money. Everything will get eaten. Of course, nuts, a staple of many vegans and vegetarians, as long as they don't have a nut allergy. And these, because bread, I mean, partly the fact I have trouble buying bread because it takes up so much room, and if I need a loaf of bread, there's less room in on my bike, on my panniers for other things. And I do have a bread maker that I don't use very much. My partner uses it more. But apart from just buying the ingredients, which you can do, of course, and I will get bread making stuff, I thought these would be a convenient way, because basically just put this bread mix in with the recommended amount of water and it's done it for you. And I've got some more of these coming in my Accardo delivery. So that's a multi bread, and there's a white, premium white bread mix. And I've got here a wholemeal bread mix. So that's just to make freshly baked bread. A lot of these things obviously depend on the fact if we've got electricity supply. Some people are saying it'll be a doomsday scenario. We might not have electricity, we might not have gas, the water might run out. That's one thing I haven't got yet, is any bottled water. I don't think, fingers crossed, it won't be like that. As I said, I think the worst that could happen is we may get limited supplies of some things, and what's left could go up in price. If that's all that happens, that's a good thing. I'll be happy. But I've bought stuff when it's at the normal price or even cheaper. I bought stuff on offer. One other thing I've just show you, and that was also in the reduced. I bought a lot of canned goods. Now a lot of them do have a ring pull on the top, but there's quite a few things that still you have to use a can opener. We have a can opener, but it's an electric can opener. Well, if there is a chance of power cuts, and there is a possible chance it's been mooted, and I want to open a tin of beans to heat up on my camping stove, I'll need a manual can opener. So that can just go in the kitchen drawer. And also, of course, if we do get any power cuts, I've been recommended tea lights as opposed to other candles, but also it's best to have a few torches that are fully charged and lots of batteries about the place. That's what's been recommended, just in case. That's the whole thing about preppers. It's just about being prepared for the worst case scenario. So I know that when Brexit Day happens, if it does happen, I certainly will not be going hungry. So that's my first two Brexit shops, food that I am stockpiling. I know it has connotations, stockpiling, but I'm just trying to look after myself and my family. My partner doesn't really want to have anything to do with it, and obviously I hope the case happens that buying all this wasn't necessary, but I can't take that risk, to be honest. Now that I know about it, if anything does happen, and it's probably a big if, but if it does, and I haven't done anything to prepare for it, knowing that it could have happened, then I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself. That's something else I need to get, some dog food, because normally with the dog food, we can't buy it from supermarkets. It's normally only available online. And with the dog food, because it's quite expensive, we just tend to buy it when it's run out, and sometimes it's a bit late to buy it because they can't nip out to the supermarket and get it, and sometimes I have to go to the supermarket and buy some other brand that they don't normally have to tide them over for a couple of days, because I've not ordered the dog food. So I do not want a situation where we can't get the regular dog food. So I will be ordering 2 big bags of that, so the dogs are okay. And of course there's people, we've only got dogs to think about. There are people with families and maybe elderly people to look after who have specific needs, so I can see for them why it can be quite frightening. I don't want to frighten anyone. This is what I've decided to do. Like I say, with everything I do on this channel, it's my choice. I decide to be a vegan. I've decided to start stockpiling basic foodstuffs and other things, which I may show you in later videos if you're interested. I don't really need to stockpile toiletries because I have absolutely tons and tons of that. I might just get a few more tubes of toothpaste, because again, I don't buy the regular brands. I buy the fluoride-free brands and the health food shop type brands. And I think I've got enough cleaning materials, but any excuse to buy more cleaning products I will take. And toilet rolls, I'm certainly getting a good supply. There was a thing recently, and they mentioned it on the morning show this morning, that I think some research was done and they recommend you don't actually wipe your bottom. Well, apocalypse or no apocalypse, I'm still going to wipe my bottom. I don't care. I'm not going to be dragging my bottom along the grass to clean it like a dog does. I still want to wipe my bottom. So we will have plenty of toilet paper, probably enough to last several months. But anyway, you know, I want things to remain the same. They probably will. As I said, I'm not scaremongering. I am a bit concerned. That's all. I'm a bit concerned. I'm not petrified, but it's just a way. We have so little control in this world. The politicians who are making an absolute arse of everything in the UK re-Brexit, it's just a way, a little way that the people can sort of have a bit of control. That's how I see it. Have a little bit of control over their lives, over their destinies, and it really brings out a primal feeling, the hunter-gatherer feeling. It does in me. I don't know if it's a male or female trait, but you know, the men are supposed to be the providers, aren't they? And the women are supposed to be the carers. You know, obviously that's changed, but that's the old way. And it comes from quite a primal thing, apparently from when we used to live in caves hunting, you know, mammoth or whatever, whether you believe that or not. But to me, you know, I do shop a lot, and to give me an excuse to buy a lot of shopping doesn't take much. So yeah, shoot me for doing that, I don't care. But whatever you're doing, if you're in the UK, if you're worried about Brexit, I wouldn't be worried. I hope this video hasn't made you concerned. You probably will be seeing more in the news about preppers, specifically Brexit preppers. You probably will be seeing more stories of possible shortages, and part of me thinks, is that the media just stirring up things in order for the government to say, well look, let's have another referendum, it was all a big mistake, have another referendum and we won't have Brexit. Well, whether you voted yes or no, in or out, to me the vote has been cast and it's been decided. It was a slim margin, the people who voted out, but in a supposed, we're supposed to live in a democracy. Again, whether you believe that or not, I'm not too sure, but that was the result. So I don't know if Remainers are buying stuff or it's just the Leavers. Who knows? It can be all sorts of people. I'm not getting political about this, but this is what I've decided to do to try and cushion any possible food shortages or price increases. That's all I'm doing it for. Plus I enjoy it. As I said, it brings out the hunter-gatherer in me. And I'm in a fortunate position to be able to afford to buy a lot more food than I normally do. And I know there are people out there, and I've read it on the Facebook page I'm in, there are people there on fixed incomes who cannot go out and buy extra food. And if they're in the mindset of being worried about not being able to get certain things and prices going up, I can understand how difficult that is. So I just don't know. I'm blessed to be able to show you this, and I'm not showing you this saying, look, I can afford to buy all this food extra to what I'd normally buy. I hope it doesn't come across as that, because I don't mean it to. I'm just showing you a shopping haul and explaining why I'm buying all this stuff. And plus the fact, look at all this stuff and it's all vegan. So that's another thing, you know. Vegans do not just eat muesli and carrots. So I've got the veganism done. I've done a bit of politics, done a bit of philosophy. What is the next? Sex? I won't be doing that. And if any of you are wondering, if you can see it, why I've got a mark on my head, I haven't been beaten up. I've been in my garage yesterday doing some more sorting out, and I've been in the loft part of the garage with lots of beams coming at me from all directions. And obviously having a bald head is a magnet for beams, it's a magnet for nails sticking out. So that got whacked a few times, and unfortunately I've been left scarred, but hopefully not for life. Hopefully this video hasn't left you scarred for life, or the image that you're looking at now. Go and wash your eyes out with bleach if you're trying to obliterate the image of me. But no, don't do that, folks. Actually, I need to get bleach. Oh yes, finally, if you've remained to the end, you can vote. You have the chance to vote. And now I am doing my first Accardo Brexit shop. That's coming on Tuesday. So if you'd like to see my Accardo shop, and because it's been shopped online, it's been delivered, I can't remember, but there's probably quite a lot of stuff that I could never possibly bring home in one go on my bike. So if you'd like to see the Accardo shop, please mention that below. And the only reason Just a quick final thing, this video has gone on for far too long. If you're in the UK and you shop with Accardo, and you shop with Accardo all the time, can you let me know if you get offers? Do you sometimes get 10% off your next order, 15% off? If you don't, let me know if you're a regular Accardo shopper. I am an infrequent Accardo shopper. I only ever shop with Accardo when there's money off, because they're a little bit pricey, some of the items. And I've no need to shop with them as much now, because I used to go to Accardo because they were good for vegan food, but now most supermarkets are a lot better for vegan food than they were, so I can just get it from a normal supermarket. But Accardo, only less than 2 weeks ago, they offered me, I think, 15% off my next order of £40 or more, I think it was. So I took them up on that. I ordered some stuff, maybe £50 worth, then didn't order anything else. And then a few days ago, I got another offer, £15 off my next shop. I'm not sure how much I had to spend. And then £10 off my next 2 shops after that. So I'm going to do 3 Accardo shops because I'm getting money off. So they will be for things like the bulky toilet roll, the water, and anything else I think I need to get us through the zombie apocalypse that could be approaching. So anyway, if you want to see that Accardo shop, at least the first Accardo Brexit shop, please comment below. Say yes please, I'd like to see it, or just put Accardo, or put F off, you bald ugly so-and-so. Actually, so that reminds me, I was called a B word and it's a video, oh Roger, you can talk for England. It's a video I did on the twin tub washing machine, which is very popular, one of my most popular videos on my other channel. And it's popular in India, so that type of machine must be quite well available in India, and they use that. Anyway, I got this, he looked like an Indian gentleman. Here's a picture of him. He told me, well, he just put one word and it began with B, and it's the correct term for someone who is born out of wedlock. I informed him that I could assure him that I wasn't. My parents were married when I was conceived and born, but I don't know what warranted that. I didn't even show my face in it. I just showed people how to use a washing machine, and I got that. It didn't really bother me, that comment. I've had some worse comments, but that didn't bother me. I thought, a bit random. So I went to look at his channel and I thought, Anyway, that really is it. Hope you've enjoyed. A bit of a different sort of haul. Vegan, yes, but that wasn't the reason. I don't know if this magic hand's been tested on animals or the candles, I'm afraid. I should have checked that out, but you know, you've got to draw the line somewhere. I try and limit my impact as much as I can on the suffering of animals, but I've probably caused humans a lot of suffering with my videos. But anyway, you can always turn over, can't you, or switch me off, or put your device down and go and enjoy the sunshine if you've got any. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, tell me down below if you want to see the Accardo shop next week. I'll see you then if you do. Bye for now.